July 1st is fast approaching. Why is this important? Well, this is the start of the new financial year, and it looks like all the Premier League clubs are about to go big, start spending again. June was just a little teaser into what is to come in July. Most Premier League clubs obviously resetting the books and going again, and we have massive news coming up. It has already been an absolute blockbuster of a transfer window, but we've got updates coming on Anthony Elanga, Darwin, Nunez, Norgard to Arsenal, and Gittins to Chelsea being the big ones, which are apparently very, very close. We'll get into all the details on that. This is Football Talks. I'm Adam. Welcome along to your number one channel for all of your up-to-date transfer news on the Premier League and all of the big news surrounding most of the top clubs right now. Newcastle finally jumping in on the act. Chelsea getting their act together. Liverpool making serious moves, as we have reported throughout June. And Arsenal, well, let's start there, shall we? Norgard, Arteta, mate, listen, you need a striker. Stop faffing around. Look, I understand. Look, I know Norgard is not a bad player. He's not a bad player. I tell you what, though, Brentford, you've lost your manager, you lost your top scorer, and you've lost your captain. They've got to be favourites for a relegation battle this season. My God. Anyway, Norgard came out of nowhere to Arsenal. 15 million with add-ons. They're getting rid of Jorginho. They will say that Zubimendi is replacing Partey. I get it. Look, Arsenal's starting 11 is still awesome. I'm not going to even try and play it down. They are still good. But you need a striker. And Arsenal fans probably doing a little bit of I mean, if I'm an Arsenal fan right now, which I'm not, obviously, I'm still looking at this and I'm going, this time, we can still make this happen. But the more and more it goes on, I'm listening to Piers Morgan talking about the bridesmaids situation again and how Arsenal are not looking for the big guns and looking to be the top prize. And I get it. I get the moaning, but it's still June. And July is just about to hit. We're not in pre-season yet. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of negotiating. And what people don't pick up on in transfer windows is a lot of work is done behind the scenes. So you can go bang, 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 and a deal gets wrapped up within a week. So we could be at the brink of Arsenal making a signing in a week as soon as we get the go-ahead and a bid in for someone like Benjamin Sesko. Now, there is apparently a bid in for Sesko behind the scenes. We don't know what's happening with that. We'll see how that develops over the coming days. But Arsenal have made their third signing pretty much. Well, we're talking Zubimendi is in. We're talking Azpilicueta is in as a goalkeeper. So you've got a backup in goal. You've got a backup in midfields. And you know what? Jorginho and Partey leaving and Arsenal getting them players covered and other new players brought in to replace them. You could probably say that's actually good business. It's just the longer it goes on without them buying a striker, the more pressure is going to be mounted. And Arteta needs to win something this season. But Arsenal fans doing their nut about Norgard, I get it and I don't. I really do. I think, in a way, when I look at it and I look at everything, I've seen everyone's reaction on this and it's been one of what's going on? Why are they still not getting a striker? Why is it always a midfielder? Why is Arteta so mad on midfielders? Midfielder FC, I've seen it trending throughout X and everything, but I get it in a way. They need cover. They've lost two players in midfield, and last season, the strength in depth killed Arsenal. Now, as long as they get a striker, everybody will look at this window and go, you've actually done well. And that's actually not being brought up at the moment, which I think is key in this. But you get your comments in on Arsenal below. They're still miles behind in terms of Manchester City and obviously Liverpool. Liverpool right now, I mean, nothing on the incoming side of things. Obviously, Kerkez, Frimpong, Wirtz, and I feel like in that position, they are still top of the tree in terms of the transfer activity. We have obviously heard about the interest in Matt Gahey from Crystal Palace. Let's see how that develops, obviously. But with Konza leaving, now they're looking at the next exits. Liverpool are apparently very, very close now, and the deal is getting closer with Napoli coming in for Darwin Nunez. Now, Liverpool's stance on this is they want 70 million euros. Napoli are in at about 50 million at the moment. Liverpool are using the bid that they apparently turned down from the Saudi Pro League, which was around 70 million, and that's the benchmark. Darwin Nunez is not worth 70 million. That's a Saudi inflated situation there, I feel, and that I don't think is going to stand. And Napoli don't have that type of money to spend. It's been made very, very clear with their attempts to sign certain players. They have now dropped out of the offering for Jadon Sancho as well. He looks like he's more favoured by Juventus, so Manchester United making money on Sancho going to Juventus. They haven't gone in for Garnacho. They think he's too much money. Darwin Núñez, they need a striker. They've been interested in Rasmus Højlund from United as well. Darwin Núñez is Napoli's top target though, and that's been said. So what we're saying here is right now that Manchester United are, Liverpool are in a position where they are ready to go for a striker as soon as Darwin Núñez leaves. So the speed now is of the essence for Liverpool, because once Darwin Núñez goes, it all opens up for them. They can afford whatever striker they want near enough. If they get what they want, which is 70 million euros, so it's around about 60 million quidish, for Darwin Núñez, that is a hell of a deal. And then you're looking at Liverpool and what they've spent already. They are basically about to recoup, I would say, over half of it near enough with the sale of Quansah and Darwin Núñez. That is brilliant business from Liverpool. No matter what support you are, you have to look at that and go, if they get that for Núñez, that's a mega deal. It really is. So let's see. Let's see exactly how this one goes down and how this progresses. But at the moment, there's about a 20 million euro difference between Napoli and Liverpool. So let's see if that closes. Napoli don't work quick. They dig their heels in, and they will make it hard for Liverpool to get what they want for Darwin Núñez. So let's see how that develops. Anyway, moving forward into the Anthony Elanga and Newcastle situation. Anthony Elanga, Newcastle have had a 45 million bid rejected. Like Newcastle, honestly, like when they bid for English players, it was like Mark Gahey. It was one bid, then another bid, then another bid, then another bid. It kept on getting rejected. Newcastle's bidding process and their recruitment and negotiation section need to get a grip and like try and keep things under wraps if you can. Like they're going to have to go in with about 60 million for Anthony Elanga. He would be lightning. Absolutely brilliant signing for Newcastle. And I can see that fits right into the Eddie Howe type of playoff. That honestly would be one of the signings of the summer, I think, if they can pull it off. I don't think they will. Because I don't think Nottingham Forest are in any position to allow Newcastle to take Anthony Elanga for a cheaper price. So I can't see that one happening unless Newcastle really go strong. And July 1st is seen to be the month, obviously the start of the month where Newcastle, like I said at the top of the show, would have a bit more money and can move forward with the new financial year. So it's going to be interesting to see what Newcastle do this summer, because this is about to start next week now for them, this transfer window. So interesting times ahead for them, and let's see what happens with Anthony Elanga. But first bid turned down, 45 million, not enough. It's a good price, really. It's a good start. I think he's about a £50 million player, but obviously Forest are in no need to sell him. Obviously, you've got the Hudson-Odoi situation with him not signing a contract yet to deal with for Forest. Elanga's probably the last player that they want to lose right now, but if someone comes in with 60 million, test of his old, maybe they look at that and go, well, there you go. We could probably get two more players in for the price of one there. But Elanga has been a star for Nottingham Forest, and it's going to take one hell of a bid. 60 million apparently is the mark, and that guy that got sold by Manchester United for 15 million now turned into a 60 million pound player. Just goes to show Man United had the talent but couldn't make it work. You look at the situation. I was talking on FUTV the other day, and someone made a great comment. Newcastle have had a 45 million pound bid turned down for Anthony Elanga, and nobody wants to bid 40 million for Marcus Rashford at all. No one's going near him. Let that sink in. That's crazy. Jimmy Gittens from Borussia Dortmund to Chelsea is edging ever closer. In fact, in the last hour, Romano has said more and more contacts have been made. The price that Dortmund want for him is 65 million euros. There is, again, obviously a discrepancy in valuations and what Chelsea are willing to pay, but it is apparently moving closer now. Gittens could be Chelsea's second signing, and that is their winger and their striker. There is thought that they want to go in for another striker as well, but obviously Nicholas Jackson is a potential exit for Chelsea. We'll see how that one develops, but it's going to be very interesting to see how Chelsea's transfer business is done, because I think they do need to make... It's not like they need to sell players, Chelsea. It's they need to make room. So financially, not too much of an issue for Chelsea right now, but they haven't got the room. There's too many of them there. So they need to make some space and sell some players on. That'll obviously bring money anyway, but their financial situation right now is sweet with PSR, with all of the players that they've sold. Obviously, they've sold the women's team, they've sold the hotels. They've absolutely crushed the PSR and MIF, and they've found the biggest loopholes ever, and they can make what deals they want to make happen, but they need space in that squad more than anything, and that is why I think it's taking a little bit of time to get in another forward. But they do want a winger, having sent Sancho back to Manchester United. João Felix is going to be on his bike as well, and obviously Mudryk and his situation, that isn't going to look and end well at all. So you're looking there, I think Chelsea, from last season, the start of last season, 3 forwards gone in Mudryk, Felix and Jadon Sancho. And obviously they're looking to bring him in. Jamie Gittins, 65 mil is the price tag. Will they go near it? Get your thoughts in and all of that. That is your update on Football Talks with everything going on at the moment. This is only going to kick into gear even more over this next week now, but it is starting to bubble. Give this video a like if you're loving the content. I'm Adam, this is Football Talks. Hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the transfer activity this summer. Thank you again, everybody. Get your comments in below on them 4 big deals that could potentially happen this window.